Magistrates in Haiti on strike, and in sport, West Indies skipper assures his side won't be slacking up for the Zimbabwe series. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, October 10th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
You've been doing this for how long? Since you were how?
Since I was 1.
Since you were 1?
Yes.
Oh my God. How did you know what to do?
I don't know.
You know, your mom probably told you, right? Yeah, your mom's your best supporter, right? What band are you representing today?
Heritage.
Oh, you're representing Heritage today?
Yes.
Can you give me the secret to walking on those? The stilts?
I don't really know.
You don't have a secret?
No.
So what if I wanted to learn? You can't teach me?
Haiti's judicial system has been thrown into a tailspin, with magistrates yesterday heeding a call to begin a 5-day work stoppage to push for better working conditions. The action is a follow-through on a threat issued by magistrates that unless a memorandum of understanding on issues or addressing issues such as new premises, a budget increase and health insurance coverage was signed last Friday, a strike would begin this week. President of the Professional Association of Magistrates, Wando Saint-Villers, said the decision to stop work followed the failure to sign the MOU last Thursday with Justice Minister HAITI Fortune, Minister of the Economy Jude Alexis Solomon, and President of the Superior Council of the Judiciary, Jules Cantave. Now, Saint-Villers said Solomon had failed to turn up for the meeting where the MOU would have been signed, and he did not give an explanation for his absence. The work stoppage is also to protest what the magistrates say is the minister's disrespect. Guyana's Finance Minister Winston Jordan is promising citizens they won't be burdened with any new taxes when the 2018 budget is unveiled next month. He says empowering people to be their own bosses and fulfilling outstanding commitments will instead be the focus.
Anything in this budget is about cleaning up or providing an incentive or two as promised. We promise some sectors that we will see how we can support them in this renewal, right? Especially in the forestry area. So we'll be looking at how we can support that sector. And there's some other promises or so that we might have made that we want to see whether in this budget we can provide that.
One of the budget measures that was widely rejected was the imposition of value-added tax on private tuition. Minister Jordan says that tax is up for a review. He said the 2018 budget will be a people's budget.
Our focus in the budget now is to make people their own boss. So we are getting increasingly putting more and more resources, right? More and more resources that aim to increase the skill pool.
And that was Minister Winston Jordan from a report from Royden James of HGP Nightly News. Barbados's opposition leader Mia Mottley is accusing the Frondel Stewart administration of playing political football with the welfare of the island's public servants. He said Stewart was purposefully withholding the pay increase demanded by the island's major trade unions, the National Union of Public Workers, Barbados Workers Union, the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union, and the Barbados Union of Teachers. Her accusation came on the heels of the Prime Minister's comment that he was not in a position to speak on the Finance Minister's announcement that the National Social Responsibility Levy had raised $50 million in revenue in its first quarter. Following the announcement of the pending increase of the levy, the trade unions called for an immediate pay increase to sustain the blow that the tax would have on the island's economy, but their demands were rejected by the finance minister. Motley said the Democratic Labour Party government is holding back on a decision until the eve of the next general election.
And based on Chris Sinclair's attitude in Parliament on Tuesday, Kerry, he is well happy with the take. And if he is happy with the take, then they must be prepared not on the eve of an election, not on the eve of calling the election, because, Prime Minister, we are already in that zone. 20 weeks left and the Parliament is dissolved. So don't keep people waiting anymore because you want to extract the ultimate political bounty from announcing a pay increase close to the time that you announce an election. The people of Barbados deserve better, and the public servants have waited too long. Too long. And it is now that they must get that ease, because people, I tell you, I see it every day, people cannot make ends meet.
Stay with us. Your Midday Sport is next.
Eating on my own now.
Meet Sherry Bond, who runs a skunk rescue operation in Southern California.
We get a lot of calls and we pick up these animals and take care of them until either they need vet care. We give them flea baths and pick ticks off of them, and I get them on good formula and vitamins. The animals aren't afraid of people by nature, and these guys are already used to people.
West Indies captain Jason Holder does not foresee any drop in intensity from his side when they take on Minnows Zimbabwe in 2 tests in Bulawayo later this month. The Caribbean side left the island on Monday for the short rubber, which will see them chasing their first series since they beat Bangladesh in a similar 2-test series in the Caribbean 3 years ago. Holder said the trajectory of the Windies' performances was headed in the right direction, and Zimbabwe presented an ideal opportunity to continue that progression. West Indies have never lost to Zimbabwe in 8 previous meetings, winning 6 times and drawing twice. But even though the African nation are without a test win in 9 outings inside the last 4 years, Holder said the Windies would be professional in their approach and taking nothing for granted. West Indies opened the tour with a 3-day match against Zimbabwe starting next Sunday before the first test at Queen's Sports Club, which bowls off on October 21. And over to football now. Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football team is getting set to take on the United States this evening despite the threat of rain forcing the abandonment of what is their final match in the hexagonal stage of the World Cup qualifier. The Caribbean side is already out of contention for a spot in the finals. Head coach Dennis Lawrence says they intend to go all out for a win against the Americans, and they are targeting key players, especially the dangerous midfielder Christian Pulisic.
I think he's key to what the US are trying to do, and he's one that you obviously have to pay attention to. If you look at the goal scoring ratio, I think he's covered most of the goals, him and Jose Altidore. So those are key players that we need to make sure and pay attention to. Obviously, you got Bradley, who handles the ball well for them. He makes the team sick. But Christian Pulisic, obviously, you have to pay particular attention to him. And we're going to try as best as we can to try and manage him to make sure we can keep him out of the danger areas on the football pitch. But it's going to be a job that we're going to have to be more than ready for, because he's the heartbeat of the US team at the moment. And we have...
That's Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.